Okay, I am typing in greater than 4/15/2014. Okay, and I hit enter, and it does not like my syntax. Oh, I've got two greater thans, sorry. So you do have to be careful when you type these. Okay, so now we got greater than 4/15/2014. Okay, and it seemed like that. Oh, sorry, I think I put it in the wrong place, so let's go ahead and put it here. The date deceased, that's my fault. I got it in the wrong place. 15/2014. Okay, so I want to make sure this goes under date deceased. Put it in the wrong place earlier. And this is, of course, my criteria. Notice that it put hashtags at the front and the end. Don't put those in, it'll do it for you. And again, this is under criteria. And I'm going to come up here and I'm looking for the run. Does everybody see run up here? And I'm going to run my query. And when I run it, I do get 3 rows back. Okay, so now I have all of the 3 people who are deceased and they died after 4/15. Okay, and you can just double check real quick and make sure the dates make sense. 2 of them were experts, 1 was an intermediate, so, and they have their specialties. So pretty much now we're going to save our query. Right now it's called Medics Query. You can actually change that name. Okay, once I close this, we're going to come over here and notice that it's now under my queries. So under Medics Query, you might want to rename this and rename it something that makes sense. Maybe Medics, oh, it didn't work. Again, rename. Now I get my little blue box I can type in there. Medics Deceased. And I don't want to put the whole date, so I'll just put 2014 later. Okay, but whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter, just make up a name. And it's something that if you had to go back in, could you find that particular query? Would you know what was in there? So the longer you make this, really the more meaningful you can make it. So if this was real, I would name it something a little better than that, I think. Okay, but that is our first query, and we got our 3 rows. The next thing we're going to do is sometimes we need information from more than one table. So we're going to create a query that will display information about medics with the same security level as my medic. And if you remember that, we were supposed to find that at the beginning, as well as from the vaccination missions table. And I'm going to try and keep this out of the way so that we can, I'm going to go ahead and close all my existing tables. So I right-clicked and I close all. And let's go ahead and see what we're going to do. We're going to create, obviously, we are going to create a new query. And we're going to, does it tell me? I just don't care. All right, I can do a query wizard or query design. So let me go ahead. It says save it, so I did. We're going to call this one Vaccination Missions. And medics. Okay, I could call it anything I want, and I can name it later if I don't want to, but I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Okay. All right, so we're again going to do a simple query, and I have to pick the table that I want. Okay, which fields do I want? I'm going to pick the tables So I know I want the medics table, and I'm going to just pick everything for now. They're going to actually tell me what I want to include. So if I look down here at my directions, from the medics table, we want the medic last name, the security level, the date deceased, the vaccination mission. Oh, okay, it doesn't, that's all I need. I just need those 3. So I don't need the medic's first name. Oh no, they want their last name. So I don't need the first name, so I can take that back out if I want. Don't need their specialty. So you can either do these one at a time on what you need, or select them all and take out what you don't need. I don't know which is better in this case, but we only need 3 things. Medic last name, security level, and date deceased. So don't really need deceased. And apparently they don't want the medic ID. I would always include an ID, but that's just me. Okay. So we have the 3 fields that we need, that they're asking for right there. Then we want to take the vaccination missions. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to do the vaccination missions. And from that field, I need city ID. So city ID, VM start date, so there's the VM start date, and I need the VM end date. It's vaccination mission end date, and the city ID, so that's all I need. Okay, so then I'm going to do next. I have all the fields that I needed, and I want the detail. So I'm going to modify the query design. Again, this is going to take me into query design. You can start with that if you want. And it's already showing me the relationship. How they're going to tie these 2 fields together is with the medic ID number. Okay, we are going to do our query. And again, I've got that problem that I can't see very well down here. So let me try making this bigger. Now I can see everything. Okay, so there's my criteria. Here's my sort. This one they're going to ask us to sort on. Okay, we're going to sort the results in ascending order by city ID and VM start date. So here's my city ID. We're going to sort ascending, right, by city and VM start date. And again, we're gonna I gotta scroll over to see this a little bit on the bottom. It drives me crazy. Okay. Okay. So on this one, we're going to do the drop down, and start date, we'll go ahead and do that ascending as well. Okay, so I got my sorts taken care of. And only medics with the specified security level. Okay, so if you remember, mine was, I believe, novice. So yours might be expert, yours might be okay. I went too far. Okay, here's the security.